Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to an epic game here between Clem in the bottom left, spawning here on Solaris, and on the top right, on a map with a name like this, it can only be one Zerg. It's of course Solar. Solar on Solaris, Clem on Solaris, both of these guys fighting each other, as we have 6 links popping out here. Now, the Zerg theory tells me is that if you open up with 6 links and you lose a single one, there's only one thing you can do, and that is leave the game. Ooh, it loses 2! So with 6 links, it is very difficult to lose links, because you can just kind of cycle them around so easily, right? The Reaper should never be capable of dealing any serious damage. But here, got 2 kills on that bad boy. That's pretty serious. That is pretty serious indeed, and you love to see it. You just love to see it. Clem, such solid control all around. It's wonderful to see him play, like when you're standing behind him. So there's this map that a lot of pro gamers play. It's called Marine Control. You can find it in the arcade if you guys still have StarCraft 2 installed. No, a lot of you just watch, don't actually play. It's called Marine Control. And basically you have to control Marines and you're sniping banelings. That's really kind of the premise of the map. I think there's 15 or 16 levels. And at tournaments, most pro players use this arcade map created by Moro to warm up. And when you watch Clem play, like some of the other programs are pretty good at it, but Clem's like, he gets it, you know? Like the way that he moves, the way that he clicks stuff, he's so freaking accurate, he's so fast. And it shows in all these little tiny interactions with that Reaper, with the we'll have Marine sniping banelings surely in this game as well. I know it's gonna happen, it always happens. Let's take a look though at what the opener is going to be here for Clement. For now, he's adding in some fast barracks over here. I want to see my reactor come down here, buddy. That's what I want to see. Little reactor here on that starport, no? That's not what we're doing here, Chief? I guess not. Alright. Well, what can I say about it? I don't know. Gonna go up to 3 barracks, 6 Hellions, 1 Viking. Okay, we're gonna build a reactor with this thing, and a reactor with this thing as well. So reactors all around. Interesting to see how he's going to move all of these buildings. Ooh, splits off the Hellions accidentally. Yeah, doesn't want to commit on creep, not against Solar. Solar's someone that doesn't mind building a couple extra links at times to see if he can catch these cars. Not going to be the case now. Link's going to get denied here, but Solar already got the information. The majority of the info was gathered here with that Overlord that sacrificed its life for the Swarm. As 2 more barracks do get thrown down here, double E-base finishing up as well. And we see Clem moving over to finally take its rightful position here at the reactor with the starport. We're gonna go for a mine style here, opening up. Cool to see. Lingbane versus Marine Mine. This is probably my favorite matchup in the TVZ matchup. Because it often produces very active games. Now, even if Clem is opening up with 5 tanks, he still tends to produce very active games, but I think he's the most fun to watch when he plays mines. And Clem is the type of player that, by the way, can make any player into an active player. So sometimes you'll be watching like a TVZ and both guys are just sitting there. Sometimes you're watching a TVZ and the Zerg is sitting there and the Terran can't really do much of anything. Clem always can do stuff and he always makes the game exciting. Whether he's ahead, whether he's behind, whether he's even, whether he's playing tanks, whether he's opening up with a freaking Thor drop, it doesn't matter. He's making stuff happen. He doesn't open up with Thor drops, by the way. That's fake news. But if he were to open up with Thor drops, I bet it would be phenomenal to watch. Solar here with a good start. Didn't really take any serious damage. And as a result now, has 66 drones. That's a very serious drone count. He has quick upgrades, as quick as his opponent. Maybe even a little bit quicker here. 69 out of 114. 72, I say literally the same. Okay, so the timing there on the upgrades is exactly the same, and that is quite good for Zerg because often they are behind. Now, it does mean that baneling speed is just going to be delayed. It's not the end of the world, as long as you don't just straight up lose your fort base. It's actually kind of okay here. And we're gonna have to wait and see what's actually going to be kicking off here. Queen's under some heavy fire, 1 queen will fall. The Medivac's also dropping in HP. Creep tumor about to finish up. Second queen does go down here. Clem with nice movement has the Hellions on the left side, kind of waiting to flank with some Hellions, knowing that there's not going to be baneling speed yet. Big Ling run by now being sent out. Clem equalizing the supply here. There's still a bit of cash in the bank, of course, for Solar as he adds in the Hydra then. So we're most likely moving towards a Hydra-Link Bane territory. Here we go. Does not raise the depot as a huge Baneling run by straight up hits the natural. That's going to cost Clem not just his momentum here, but it's also just going to cost him a bunch of SCVs, which is very painful. That actually is very painful indeed. Oh, neat play here. Very neat play coming out of Clement. Or out of Solar. Although it didn't actually deal as much damage. Clement here, or Clem, with a good defense. Forge CC about to finish up as well, as the cars dealt with that just by themselves, which is kind of impressive. Well, not kind of, it's just impressive. I am impressed. And I feel like that's one of those things I say very often when I'm watching Clem play. It's the reason why he's capable of dealing so much damage and having so much momentum all the time, never getting stopped in his momentum, is because whenever he gets attacked, many players turn around their army and they go home to defend. It feels like Clem always just has either the units in the right places, or he manages to split off the correct amount of units to deal with the threat. So he can keep the pressure on, while simultaneously also dealing with the threat at home. And I think this is a very rare skill to have. It really is. And here, look at this. So he's being attacked on his third base. I feel like the natural instinct of Terran players would be to completely send this back home. He tries to push on the creep, sees some units, then is going to try and actually surround this little army here. Oh, gets the pickup as well. I feel like this move back is a little bit poor, actually. That seems like an F2 move. Just as I start praising him for a very specific thing, he starts doing it wrong twice in a row now. That is what it is. I still believe that is one of his very strong points in general. It's just the ability to split off the perfect amount of units to deal with an aggressive threat on his side of the map, keeping up that pressure on the opponent here the entire time. We have a couple of mines now being spread out. Hydras are out on the map, as we actually see Solar running away with the upgrades here, by the way. Look at that. 2-2 is already done. Remember that those upgrades were the same, so Clem had some significant delay in his upgrades. Now is going to be fighting against a superiorly upgraded Zerg army on a map that generally... Well, actually, I'm not sure if it's considered to be Zerg favored even. I was looking at this through my Protoss glasses, and when you look at things through the Protoss glasses, Solaris is a bad map for Protoss. But for Terran, I'm not even sure if it's true. There's lots of nice little chokies. Going through the middle can be kind of tricky, I guess, for both players, honestly. So a lot of control. Run by is not so easy for Zerg initially either. Ooh, here comes a push. Partially on creep. Can we get some mine shots? Ooh, that's a good one. Not the greatest splits there coming out of Solar. As I definitely should try and clear some of these mines now. 2-2 upgrades finishing up for Clem as he boosts in towards the main base. Solar not in position, even remotely in position here. There's a couple of queens idling here at the 6th or 7th base, whatever it is. Lurker then's gonna get sniped. Clem with a quick move into the main base is going to get the Hive. Solar does pop out some of them Vipers, but losing the Hive is a big deal. Started his Carapace upgrade level 2 or level 3. That is a big deal. Finished the Vipers and started Adrenal. So I guess the only thing that Solar is going to be lacking is the potential of getting seismic spines for his lurkers. Solar usually likes to get 3 to 4 lurkers to kind of stabilize the game and then continue into an aggressive style of Hydra-Link Bane Viper from there on out. That tends to be his game plan. And it's a game plan that very often works against the highest level of Terran players. Having a delay on those lurkers is going to be a bit frustrating, as these mines are going to connect with a bunch of links. Ooh. No final mine shot there, as this bad boy is pretty freaking big. At the same time, well, we didn't quite see it, but I bet there were Marines in these medevacs, and they're not there anymore. Solar starts pushing in forward as Clem now in a world of trouble with just, well, 2 tanks really to hold this third base. I believe that this CC is not just going to be in a bit of trouble. I think it is going to burn down. Now, there are a lot of command centers for backup over here. We have a 5th base already mining as well. Oh, no, not the Vipers, not the Vipers. Oh, no. This is terrible here. A huge blunder by Solar because he doesn't have the Hive yet. And that Hive is still fairly long away. Vipers take a long time to build. And then on top of that, need to gather energy as well. So we're seriously like 2.5 minutes away from getting new Vipers out with energy active into a battle. That's going to allow more aggressive movement here coming out of Clem. So I think like maybe 14 minutes and 30 seconds we're going to see them pop out with energy. And that's my my guesstimation for now. As Queen's here being sniped by the Marauder Marine Force. As Clem slow on the upgrades, by the way. Look at that. Just now starting his +3 attack. Does he already have +3 armor accidentally? No. Wow. So Solar really just getting a lead here with those upgrades, especially on the links, of course. Carapace about to finish up. Range +2 is just now starting, as the Hydra count has grown significantly. Get another drop in towards the main base. Just a single Spore trying to deal with that. There's just not enough Marines and Marauders here to pose a serious threat to the main base of Solar. Mine's gonna get picked up. There are a lot of medevacs here. Imagine throwing a parasitic bomb or two into this clump. That would just be fantastic. That would help Solar so much, but he can't right now because he doesn't have any of these Vipers out. His army is gonna get pushed back. Solar with, I feel like, pretty decent trades. He's down 5k. It's not the end of the world though. Does need to be careful that his opponent can just keep expanding, and especially towards a 6th base. It's important to stop that. This base is going to get blasted instantly, and here at the same time we have Solar once again with more aggression. What an attractive playstyle here that Solar once again showcases. And when you're going up against Clem, games tend to just be aggressive all around, but Solar is really bringing his A game here. This is an insanely good game to watch so far. Freaking love this type of stuff. Quick micro actions all around. This base has been replaced, but this is not a planetary, and that means this is not really a safe haven anymore. Liberators are going to show up, and that's probably going to push this back. We're going to see a quick rotation perhaps coming out of Solar. Would love for him to just send a couple of links in here. Now, once they commit to the left side, I think that's a mistake. I think just jumping on towards the 3rd would be a very cool call. Oh! Mines almost getting connections, but not quite. Yeah, so Solar is trying to bait these mines. There's really not that many mines in this general area. There's 14 on the map. There's only 3 over here. 2 of them get activated. 3 get activated. There's no more mines to defend this army right now. Gotta pick all of these off. As Link's trying to move in. This should not be enough Links to really deal serious damage. Although Liberator's not quite covering everything here. That means these Links can take out a bunch of SCVs. Hydra's running up the ramp. Infantry weapons level 3 is about to finish up as the Banelings moving forward. Do get a couple of big connections there with the Marines. What an absolutely banger of a game so far. Absolute. Yeah, we're cooking here. That's what we're doing. We're cooking. We're absolutely cooking with this 12 o'clock as well. These 2 Links have dealt a lot of damage. Or killed 4 or 5 workers. That's a lot of damage for 2 Links. That's way more efficient than the average Zerg unit will ever be. As Solar has now officially taken all of his bases on his side of the map. And now it's going to be key to deny his opponent's 6th and 7th base. And especially that 6th base is going to be just an important moment. Very, very important. The moment Clem goes for it. And we see Solar perhaps doesn't even want to give Clem that 5th base yet. Which is wild. Look at this. Liberators here are defending. I think they could be taken out. Vipers, by the way, just now popping out with energy. I said it was going to be 14 minutes and 30 seconds. It is even 40 seconds later than that. So losing these 2 Vipers over here in this area cost Solar so freaking much. It cost him a lot of potential. Dealing with these Liberators, parasitic bombing on top of medevacs. Like, look how low all of these medevacs are here. That's 7 medevacs, of which, well, 5 are in the yellow, at least in the yellow. 2 in the yellow, 2 in the orange, 1 in the deep red. Lurkers now setting up as well, as Baneling's actually getting sniped. This was a pretty poor trade, honestly, coming out of Solar. Not a huge fan of how this went. Lurkers, can we get a parasitic bomb? That's big. As we have an EMP hitting as well at the same time. Good split coming out of that medevac, but that is a dead medevac, and it just only cost him energy. Don't forget that. That's the beauty of the Viper, is it can use energy to get actual damage done, and that is a level of efficiency that most Zerg units just don't have. Like usually, like let's take a look at the resources lost here. He's down 9k in resources lost, so having a unit that can basically always trade efficient, that's fantastic. Solar here trying to get the 6 o'clock as well. It's like, hey, I want the 12 and the 6. He wants it all. He wants the entire clock. Freaking loves clocks. I wonder if Solar has a watch. He's the type of guy that would have a nice looking watch. And he loves it too. Bases all around the clock. As this lip's gonna get taken out. Lurkers moving in forward. This base is toast. And so will that factory be. 12 SCVs going down. Clem here struggling to get back up in that worker count. At the same time though, launches a counterattack and to 2 portions here, two areas of the map. And might actually end up killing a bunch of drones. These lips have been absolutely invaluable here for Clem, but now probably will get taken out as 31 SCVs go down. Lurker still idling in the middle of the map. Oh no, what an insane game of constant trading. Oh, Vipers once again gonna get sniped. Clem is on point here today. So is Solar, who has decimated his opponent's eco. But Clem has kind of done the same here. Needs to be careful. Loses one medevac that was semi-full. A couple of units in there. Oh boy. This is so beautiful to watch. I freaking love this. Nine ghost. Okay, we have 9 ghosts. We have 5 lurkers. It's not going to be about the ghost-lurker interaction, though. I don't think it is. I think it's mainly going to be about the Hydra-Ling Bane interacting with the mines. Like, you have this dance just with the mines and then with the Ling Bane. I think that's going to be the most important. And we have a tiny eco lead here for Solar. There are 2 orbitals still. There's an orbital domain as well. That has a lot of energy. Yeah, Solar is running out of cash. He needs to re-establish this base. It's kind of important. Mines not really getting the big connections that they want. Snipes going down now on these Hydras. Well, that's pretty big. Mines all get used up there. There's no mines defensively here. There's 2 more in the back. He's not even really defending the third. He's just kind of defending these ramps, which is so interesting. It's a way to use his army. Jumps in forward. Needs to be careful, though. These medevacs are so low. Target fire was good. Loses the medevac with units in it. Resources lost. Still with an 8k difference. I think Solar's going to be happy with just setting up this base again. It's like, hey. Ooh, that could be 5 kills. Could also be 2. It's gonna be 2. Needs to take that out. Needs to be careful not to lose too much. Yeah, not the end of the world. Lurker can tank a mine shot. Wouldn't mind if lurkers rotate towards the top side here, by the way, to help defend this area. Although there are a lot of ghosts out. 109 supply against 102. And this upcoming fight is going to be huge. There are no mines defensively, and there are 3 Vipers. 2 medevacs ready to die. And then he sneeze in their direction. One big Zergling fart, and these bad boys will fall out of the sky. Parasitic bomb's definitely gonna do the job then. Lurkers on the bottom side, putting some minor pressure, really not all that much. A couple more lurkers are going to join, and that could perhaps allow Solar to take this base. Income's extremely similar, but the moment the new base lands... do we have it? No, we don't actually have that many. Thinking how many mules do we have potentially, but there's really not that many. We have infestors snaking around as well. I mean, 1 fungal, like that is huge, you know? All we need. 1 fungal is all you need. Possibilities. Lurkers keeping that bottom base for now. Here comes a flank. Here comes an infestor. Needs the... Oh! Hits the freaking mother load there. Beautiful play coming out of Solar there with the hidden infestor. And as a result, gets to take out 2 orbital commands most likely. And I'm pretty sure with that move, he gets the W altogether, no? Man, that was so nice. That was freaking tight. Coming in through that speed zone with the infestor. Poof! Straight on top of that entire army. We still have 3 Vipers around as well. Solar, you beast. Freaking beast. Clem, not done yet, though. He says, hey, that was fun, but I actually have a pretty decent army. That's true. That definitely is true. Mines, not gonna get the big connections, though. We have another fungal coming in, perhaps. It completely misses, and here come the parasitic bombs. And a 1, 2, and a 1, 2. 1, 2? No 3 quite yet. As they're actually not available here. I mean, Solar here. Phenomenal spot for himself. Carved it out. This is so nice to watch. These 2 guys actually provide some of the best games. Like some of the best games. Sometimes I feel like Dark is trying to kill games. It's the same with Serral, you know? It's like they try to keep the game very stable. Well, Solar wants chaos and Clem wants chaos, and you have these 2 against each other. You get like ultra chaos. Like insanely action-packed games. I do believe that Clem is truly dead right now, because he's another big miss there by this infestor. It's not really gonna matter. Clem just isn't mining enough. He really isn't. Man, what a game. Actually, a sick game. Really, really well done. GG gets called. Solar's gonna take it, but this is so beautiful. freaking high level play. Like really, really high level stuff. Average APM 488 for a Terran is crazy. That is crazy high for a Terran. That is so much APM. Like, the reason why for Zerg is not that weird, because Zerg have really high repeat rates on their keyboards, which means that if you press like one button for like half a second, it counts as like 12,000 APM. So you often see Zerg players like just go up to like 15, 1600 APM for a couple of seconds. It's just when they're producing units. It happens every time. So Zerg APM is a completely useless metric. So when it comes to Terran, that's not quite the case. Clem is like his speed, but also just his precision is insane. Not insane enough apparently to deal with Solar here, who does get the W. It's a neat place. I feel like he probably could have taken it earlier. Had he not lost those 3 Vipers over here, that was such a key moment in the game. Absolutely key moment. Allowing Clem to stay alive for much longer, but in the end, Solar, man. Crazy good rotations. Resources lost down for 7k still, but just outmined his opponent. And then relentless aggression. Freaking loved it. GG's, well played.